think the first time that I met Chris and Maciek, they were visiting the National Film Board production office, and they were trying to make contact with another puppet animator. They'd done this amazing sort of eclectic, sort of surreal posters. Mostly they had done graphic work. They came from more of a graphic background than an animation background. They were kind of just learning the animation ropes at the time. But there was something in their style, in this sort of magic ability to connect the oddest kinds of material together and to make a provocative image that was quite captivating. There was something obviously, magical and inventive there. They came up with a technique that was not exactly what I expected that they would come up with. I thought from their poster work that it would be something much more collage, eclectic, and more surreal. But what they came up with was with something that had those elements, but in a much more cinematic form. The technique of adding to the marionette or stop motion figure these amazing eyes was, I think, a real stroke of genius. Of course, they could not have pulled that off without Jason Walker, who just was incredible. It was just such a labor of love. And I don't know very many visual effect artists who could do that work with such sensitivity and patience. He's a portrait painter, so he was able to, just exactly get the right placement and nuance. And, Chris and Maciek obviously have a gift for giving them a whole lot of life, and I just am hooked by that. Every time I see them and then I see the clip of them moving, I'm just, enchanted. A lot of animators, you are actually a little bit introverted, a little bit shy. They live in a way vicariously through the things that they create and give life to. Chris and Maciek, I think, are a little bit more lively. I mean, if you start them talking, it's just, especially to start them talking together, it's like, if you get a word in edgewise, you're very lucky. So I think there's a little bit more of a theatrical kind of sensibility to them that comes across in their puppets. Organizations like the NFB, I know of no other organization around the world who takes this kind of risk with novice filmmakers. I think that with this kind of freedom, this is amazing that we actually live in this country that supports culture in this way, and that supports helping emerging directors to, in fact, find their voice and find their way to become the full-fledged talents that they can be. And this is exactly what happened with Chris and Maciek.